Hello guys and welcome to the forest. In today's video I'm going to look at how to best help you figure out what you want your line toppers to be. Now line toppers are just the top of your main lines, and the biggest ones are usually your stage 2s. In slower cubes, those tend to be your main attackers and the main gimmick for that type. One of the first things to do when you're looking for a line topper is just go and see if you can find a card for a Pokemon you like. Let's say I'm looking for a Gardevoir. And here you can just look at Gardevoirs and be like, this isn't exactly what I wanted. This is really great because you can go here to advance. You can put in Gardevoir. And if you want it to be a stage 2, you can scroll down here and make sure it is a stage 2. But it'd be like, oh, I wonder if there's any of these. And then you can search that. And you get a little more control over the type of cards you're looking at. And then the next thing you do when you're looking for cards for your line toppers is to find cards that do interesting things. For example, we can look at this Gardevoir, and you read its Pokepower. Once during your turn, you can search for an psychic energy card and attach it to one of your Pokemon, and then you put 2 damage counters on them. That's kind of interesting. It opens up the opportunity for a Psychic Acceleration deck. Energy Burst does 10 times the amount of energy attached to Gardevoir and to define a Pokemon. A very good no-cap attacker. This is an 100 HP. Things to look for when you're doing line toppers is looking at HP levels and energy attack cost, energy attack damage. That really sets how your power level is going to be during your cube. This one, 100 HP, is a little lower. If we go back to Gardevoirs, you can see 100 HP here at this bottom Gardevoir. 100 HP, 150, but this goes up to true prizers. Going up in power, 120, 110. And you look at it and it's like, oh, this is 140, that's not bad. Brainwave, 3 colorless. 30 more damage with a 60 base, 60 base. So even with the 3 energy required, that is 60 plus 3 times 390, that's 150. There is a massive attack boost. You have to have 15 energies attached to Gardevoir to match this Gardevoir's damage output. Be very aware of that when choosing your line toppers. Also, if you want to limit power level, you can always go to certain eras of Pokemon. Let's say you're like, Sword and Shield's too powerful. I kind of like the Pokemon power of X and Y. You can go to a website that has just the sets on there, and you can look at the Pokemon in X and Y and be like, let's see, Ancient Origins. And then you can look at Pokemon and their attack levels here. Like here's a Volcarona. 100 HP, this is a stage 1 with a Pokemon search option, and then for 2 energy is 60 damage, discard 1. And you kind of have to look around to get a feel for like the power level that certain eras have, and even if you go to like the newest era, you can always be like, I like the power level of the single prizers but not the double prizers, and take that into account when you're building your cube and looking for your line toppers. If you are drawing blanks on what Pokemon to possibly even put in your cube, and you're like trying to limit your power level, a great way we have found to try to brainstorm ideas is going to Cerebi. So let's say you're looking to do a Gen 5 power around that era cube, and you're kind of getting stuck on what Pokemon to include. I would go to the Gen 5 decks, in this case Black and White 2, because that includes all Pokemon, including the Gen 5 Pokemon added. And just look through, and you can sort it by type, and look for Pokemon you want to include. Let's say, oh, I'm looking for electric type. So you look for electric types, click the Gen 5 looking for electric types, and you can look at all electric types in Gen 5, and especially look at dual types. Some dual types prefer one type over another, so you have to be careful with that. But let's say, oh, I need a water type. Make sure you check out ice types as well. Many ice types are dueled with water. Pokemon TCG combines a lot of types. For example, Fairy got combined recently with the Psychic type before it was its own type. A lot of early Dragon types were normal types. Your Bug types are combined with Grass and Rock with Ground. So make sure you look at all the types to make sure you know all the Pokemon you're working with before you start searching up Pokemon to possibly put in your cube as line toppers. And always look at the top stage, because that will give you a good gauge of your power level and what kind of gimmicks will be for that type in your cube. And as always, if you're getting super duper stuck, go look for other cubes for inspiration. Cube Kogo is really great because people know what power level their cubes are. Is it a high power cube? Is it a low to mid power cube? Just a mid power cube? And it's really good because then you can try to find cards close to the power level that is what you want to build and look at them for special ideas. And you can always start from the top, but don't be afraid to branch out and just look around at what kind of cubes there are. For example, here you can just see what kind of Pokemon they're drawn to just by the way Cube Koga is designed. You can see the Pokemon that they're using as their line toppers. And then you can look at the cards they're using and then decide, is that a Pokemon and ability I like? And then write them down as potential options for a cube. Always look around, explore your options before firmly deciding on something. Also, keep in mind, cubes are constantly evolving, and what you choose today might not be the one you end up with a year from now or whatever, because a good cube is constantly in evolution as players constantly play with it and make balancing choice decisions, getting rid of cards that aren't played as much and trying new things. I hope this video was helpful for you today, and I'll see you in the forest next time. Bye!